Hello guys, today we are going to the movie review. Movie name is The Woman King. The Woman King is a historical action drama released in 2022, directed by Kina Prince. The film starred Viola device Ninska, a channel of the egoist and all-female warrior until in the kingdom of Dahomey in West Africa during the 18th and 19th century. The movie explores themes of leadership, bravery, and the fight of freedom. Review highlighting performance. Viola delivers a powerful and compelling performance embodying strength, resilience, and leadership. The supporting cast, including Thuso, Mbedu, and Lynch, also provide strong performance, adding depth to the story. Direction and cinematography. Gina Prince's Pursuit direction is both dynamic and respectful of the historical context. The film features impressive action sequence, vibrant costume, and lush cinematography that bring the period setting vividly to life. Story and themes. The movie balances intense battle scenes with emotional storytelling. It highlights the struggles of women's warrior and the importance of unity and cues in the face of adversity. Well, it takes some creativity, liabilities with the history. It aims to honor the real life bravery of egoist criticism. Some criticisms point out that the film occasionally simplifies complex historical issues or release or familiar tropes of heroism and revenge. However, many appreciate its empowering message and engaging storytelling. Overall, The Woman King is praised for its inspiring portrayal of female warriors, strong performance, and impactful action scenes. It serves as both an exciting historical drama and a celebration of resilience and empowerment. Certainty. Here is a more comprehensive and detailed review of The Woman King, covering various aspects of the film is depth. The Woman King is an epic historical action drama directed by Gina Prince Bythorn, known for her world work of film like um, Love and Basketball and Old Guard. The film is inspired by a historical figure and event from the kingdom of Dahomey located in present-day Benin, West Africa during the 18th and 19th century. It centered around a formidable all-female military until now, as Egoist also carried the Dahomey Amazons, exploring themes of empowerment, leadership, sacrifice, and resistance against colonial encroachment. Plot samurai. The story follows General Nanisha, played by Viola Davis, a French and resolute leader of the Egoia warriors as they trains the next generations of fighters, including Navy. Thuso inspired young women eager to prove herself to nations. Youth thought their struggles to protect their homeland from external threats, particularly the causing European colonizers and internal conflicts about traditions, change, and morality. The film delves into the complex history of the Kingdom of Dahomey, highlighting its military prowess and the social structure, while also portraying the personal journey of its character as they confront performance and acting. Viola Davis' portrayal of Nanishka is nothing short of extraordinary. She embodies strength, wisdom, vulnerability, and unwavering resolve, delivering powerful monologues and commanding presence in every scene. As performance element in the film, bringing depth and nuance of to a character who is both face warrior and compassionate leader. Thuso Mbedu's Navy provides a compelling counterpoint, a youthful energy, rebellion, spirit, and emotional vulnerability and layer to the narrative. Medieval performance is authentic and heartfelt, capturing the innocence and resilience of our characters. Lashana plays as Amanja for a supporting yet formidable presence, and the cast members contribute meaningfully, portraying a diverse range of warriors, leaders, and villagers, each adding richness to the story, direction, and cinematography. In a Prince Python direction, bring a vibrant and respectful portrayals of Africa, African history, blending gripping action sequence with intimate characters moment. The film features dynamic choreography in live fight scan showcasing the abilities and the skill of the Egozi warriors. The cinematography is lush and impressive, capturing the beauty of the landscape, intricate costume, and widely colors that reflect the period setting. The camera work is often sweeping and majestic during battle scenes, emphasizing the scale and intensity of combat while also providing close-up shots that reveal the emotional stakes, themes, and message. At its core, the Woman King explored themes of empowerment, resilience, and sacrifice. It's celebrating the strength of women warriors who fulfill social expectation and for fairly to defend their land and people. The film also examines the ambiguities of warfare, colonizations, and the fight for freedom. The narrative underscores the importance of leadership based on integrity and compassion, contrasting traditional notions of power with the more nuanced understanding of true strength. It challenges stereotype about gender roles and highlighting the capacity for youth and resilience in the face of adversity, historical context, and creative liberties. Well, the film is inspired by real historical figures and the formidable exercise for it. It takes some creative liberties for dramatic purpose. The story complement various historical elements of to craft a compelling narrative is has garnered praise for raising awareness about a relatively lesser known chapter of American history. However, some critics have pointed out that it simplifies or romanticizes current aspect to the complex social politics landscape of the time. Despite this, the film served as a visual cultural African shining serves spotlight of American history, female and empowerment and resistance, action and the visual effect. The action sequences are meticulously choreographed, blending martial arts, traditional African combat style, and modern filmmaking. The technique used the battles are intense, visual, and combat style, and modern choreographed to highlighting the agility and fighting skills of the warriors. The use of practical effect combined with cinematography create a visual experience that impress viewers into the choose and tourism of combat custom and set designs meticulously crafted reflecting the period aesthetic and cultural detail adding intensity and vibrancy to the film's visual storytelling. I tell you guys some question for you, especially in the mental and emotional, specialist in mental or emotional disturbance, psychiatrist. Who is psychiatrist? Speaking very low tone, whisper, something that is hidden mystery. Somebody that foretell the coming of something. Head finger, soldiers on big guns, mountain on wheels, artillery so deep that the bottom cannot be reached. Unfathomable, 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 unfathomable. A small shop that sell fashions, clothes, cosmetics, boutique, shamelessly rude, impudent, neglected, serious crime like murder, sons, felony, Mahabharat. Conclusions. In summary, the Woman King is a powerful, inspiring, and visually stunning film that relevant largely underrepresented chapter of history. It combines thrilling actions with emotional storytelling and crossed by Viola Davis' expectation performance. The film celebrates resilience, leadership, and indomitable spirit of women's warriors, making it a must watch for fans of historian drama action film and story of improvement. While it may take some creative liberties, its overall impact is profound and meaningful, serving as both entertainment and a cultural awakening to Africa's rich history and the remarkable women who fought to defend it. The Woman King 2022 in depth, extended review, introductions, and overview. The Woman King is an epic historical action drama that Dayflight combines element history, mythology, and compelling storytelling directed by Gina Prince, better known for her ability to craft emotionally charged narrative with strong characters. That the film is inspired by truth history from the kingdom of Dahomey located in what is now plain West Africa. Explored the legendary all-female military unit known as the Egois, often killed by the Dahomey Amazons, who were renowned for their vast combat skills and leadership. The movie is noteworthy not only for its ambitious compelling visual but also for its focus on female improvement, resilience, and the complex realities of warfare and colonize. It is a groundbreaking film that shines the spotlight on a chapter of America's history that has remained relatively undisputed in Western cinema, making it both a cultural milestone and a thrilling cinematic experience. Plot and narrative depth. The story centers on Niniska, a second and formidable general leading the Agoija warriors. He is woman of unwavering resolve, burdened by past loss and driven by a desire to protect her peoples and present their sovereignty. The narratives also introduce a young woman who defies social expectations by seeking to join the warriors despite the risk and disapproval from her community. Throughout the film, we witness their personal journey intertwined with broader political and military conflicts. The kingdom faces external threats from European colonial power eagers to exploit West Africa regions as well as internal division and the traditional rivalry. The film captured the tensions between preserving cultural identity and adapting to changing circumstances. The plot includes intense battle scenes, strategic military maneuvers, and moments of emotional introspection, emphasizing the sacrifice made by those fighting for independence and dignity. The story also explored themes of loyalty, traditions, virtue, progress, and the moral complexity of warrior, especially when defending one's homeland against colonized and oppressive regimes, performance and characterizations. Viola devised as Nanishka, Davis portrayals of Nanishka is nothing short of mountain embodies strength, wisdom, vulnerability, and faith's leadership simulates her delivers is powerful with his delivering authorities command of sharing quiet moment of reflection. David commanding presence anchors the film's elevating in from a mere action spectacle to a profound character study of resilience and women's food. Thus, Mbedu as Navy studying youthful exuberance, rebellion, and emotional depth. A journey from an idealistic girl to her second warriors in portals with authenticity and nouns. Mbedu's capture to the internal conflict of her characters beautiful, her desire for freedom clashes with the harsh realities for and traditions. Lashana as immense and gravitas and warmth as trust, confidence, and warrior balancing strength with comfort. Her interactions with Neniska and Nevi's reveal layers of loyalty and sisterhood. Supporting cast, the ensemble cast picture a diverse array of talented actors, each portraying warriors and villagers with authenticity. Their interactions build a rich sense of community, traditional and shared purpose, direction, and cinematic style. In a Prince Python direction is masterful, blending large-scale action with intimate characters' moment, however, vision and evident in the carefully choreographed fight scans which highlight the agility, skill, and tactical prowess of the Egoica warriors, the balance brutality with artistry, ensuring that each combat sequence in Wilsgate is respectful of the cultural significance. The cinematography by Polly Morgan is stunning, capturing the lush landscape, vibrant costume, and intricate set designs that evoke the period aesthetic. The film visual style often employs swiping wide shots to showcase the grandeur of kingdom and the intensity of battle, contrasted with close-ups that reveal the emotional stakes for each character. Themes and cultural significations, improvement and female leadership. It's at its core, woman is a celebration of women's strength, leadership, and resilience. Tanishka and her fellow warriors exercise courage and defy stereotypes about femininity and strength. The film challenges conventional gender roles and highlighting the importance of make females' agency in shaping history, colonialism, and resistance. The film grapples with the brutal reality of colonized explorations, violence, and cultural suppression, and depicts the courageous resistance of the dehumanized peoples. It understands underscore the importance of subversing pride and fighting to preserve one's culture and independence. Traditional virtue says throughout the story characters grapple with balancing respect for traditional against the for need for redemption in a changing world. The film engages reflection on how societies allow the film importance of leadership that embrace progress without losing sin of cultural roots, sacrifice and humanity. The narrative used to not stay away from debating the human cost of for the loss of love, one's moral dilemmas and personal sacrifice. Its portrayal warrior as complex, individually driven by the love, duty, and the desire for a better future. History, context, and creative liberties while inspiring the historical figure and event. The Woman King takes creative liberty to craft a compelling narration. The real evolved warriors were formidable foes, but much of their story remains shrouded in mystery, allowing filmmaking to blend fact with fictions. The films aim to induce and inspiring raising awareness about African history and the powerful legacy of women warriors. It also sparked conversations about colonial history and the importance of diverse narratives in mainstream cinema. Criticism have generally appreciated the film respectful depiction of history thought home color. Scholars note that certain elements are dramatized for cinematic effect, action sequence and visual effect. Action scans are choreographed with precision, blending traditional African martial art with cinematography. Filmmaking techniques they are gritty, intense, and emotionally charged, emphasizing the skill and bravery of the warriors. The use of practical effect combined with well executed CGI enhanced the realism of battle and environment interaction. The film's sound design amplifies the impact of command, making each class feel immediate. The win circle audience reception and critical acclaim. The Woman King has been widely praised by critics and audience alike. Paula Device's performance has been lauded as career-defining, and the film has been celebrated for its empowering message, cultural significance, and breathtaking visuals. Some critics have pointed out that the film cautiously employing familiar tropes, heroes, arcs, revenge, plot hits, but these are generally seen as secondary to its large themes of empowerment and resistance. The film's ability to entertain while also enduring and inspiring has made it a cultural touchstone. Final thought and overall impact. The Woman King stands as a monumental achievement in cinema, blending historical storytelling with emotional depth, exciting action, and powerful performance. It celebrates its strength and resilience Women's warriors narrating their vital role in their history and inspiring future generations. Challenges used to recognize stereotypes, recognize the importance of cultural heritage, embrace story of resistance and leadership that have often been marginalized or overlooked. The films is both a thrilling spectacle and a heartfelt tribute to the indomitable spirit of women who thought seriously for their people and their dignity. Recommendations: the film is highly recommended for fans of historical dramas, action movies, and stories centered on improvement and cultural pride. It is a must-watch for anyone interested in African history, women's leadership, or simply looking for a compelling, emotional, resonant cinematic experience. Okay, guys, you continue with me. I tell you guys new information. Talk, pick your guys. Okay, guys, in-depth exhaustive review of The Woman King 9 2022. The Woman King is a landmark film that combines historical storytelling with powerful cinematic craft to tell a story of relationship improvement and cultural period action by Gina. Prince Whitefoot acclaimed for her ability to weave emotionally resonant narrative. These films stand out as one of the most significant portrayal of African history in recent cinema. It is inspired by the real-life all-female military regiment known as the Lagoiza for the dehumanized Amazons, a formidable force in West Africa history, particularly in the Kingdom of Dehumanized. Present day behind the movie is not only a historical epic but also a cultural celebration that trying to light story of women's warriors who thought fiercely to defend their homeland, challenge social norms and carve their place in history. The film's release was met with widespread interpretations and critic acclaim for its ambitious scope, compelling performance, and its role in implying often overlooked narrative about African civilizations and women's leadership. Plot summary and narrative structure. At its core, The Woman King is a layered story, combined actions, politic personal growth, and cultural identity. The film follows Maniska, a Sanscon and reverse general of the Dihumni army who has dedicated her life to protecting her peoples and preserving their sovereignty amid external threat. The native introductions inspired young women who define social expectations by inspiring to join the rank of the Ego's warriors. Her journey is symbolizing of rebellion and the desire for agency and embodiment of new generation fighting to define their future. The story unfolds across multiple threads The external threat posed by European colonial power, especially the Portuguese and French, eager to exploit West Africa resources and size control. Internal political tensions within Diomni, including rival factions and traditional resistance to change. Personal struggle through characters conforting to duty, sacrifice, and morality. The movie explored themes of loyalty, honor, cultural identity, and the moral ambiguity of warriors. It widely depicted the brutality of battle and the emotional toll on soldiers and the unbreakable bond among women warriors fighting for their homeland. Performance and characterizations powerhouse and nouns. Viola Davis as General Naniska Device delivers a commanding, deeply nuanced performance that elevates the entire film. Her portrayal is masterclass in strength and vulnerability. She embodies a woman who has endured loss, leadership, and trauma but remains unbowed, landing on her tropes with wisdom, discipline, and compassion. Davis deliver of monologues about leadership, sacrifice, and hope resonate profoundly, inspiring viewers with her authenticity. Thus, MPD as Navy. Mbedu's Navy is a symbol of youthful rebellion and resilience. Her portrayal captures the fiery spirit of a young woman eager to challenge traditions yet also portrays her internal conflict with sensitivity. Her characters arc from Navy idealism or to resonant warrior is both compelling and emotionally impactful, making her journey relatable. Her inspiring Lashana Lions as a manager that provide gravity and mental paternal strength, representing the wise, experienced warriors who balance fast combat skills with nurturing leadership. Interactions with Naniska and Nevi underscore themes of sisterhood and loyalty. Supporting cast. The assembled cast include a diverse array of actors who portrays fellow warriors, elders, and villagers with authenticity. Each character adds depth to the narrative, illustrating the college strength and cultural richness of the Timuçin society. Direction and cinematic craftsmanship. Again, a Prince Breakthrough direction is a triumph of storytelling and visual artistry. Her approach to blending large-scale action with intimate characters movement result is a well-balanced film that is both exhilarating and employing resonant fight choreography. The combat scans are meticulously choreographed, combine traditional African martial art with modern cinematic techniques. They are gritty, visual, and choreographed to emphasizing agility, tactical intelligence, and psychological prowess of Eagle's warriors. These sequences are not merely spectacles but serve to deep character development and cultural perceptions. Cinematography, polymorphs, and cinematography capture the patterned landscape, vibrant costume, and intricate set designs with stunning cla- clarity. White swords evoke the grandeur of the kingdom, with close-ups reveal raw emotional films improve natural lighting and earthly tones to evoke authenticity, impressing viewers in the period setting. Music and score. The soundtrack introduces traditional African music with cinematic scoring, heightening emotional impact during battle, celebration, and quiet moment of reflection. The music amplifies the cultural resonance and adds an immersive layer to the storytelling, production design. The costume and production design. The costume are crafted with care, reflection, historical accuracy, and cultural significance. The costumes are crafted with care, reflection, historical accuracy, and consistency. The armor, jewelry, and attire highlight the craftsmanship of the period and convey social status, gender roles, and cultural identity. Themes explore in depth women's empowerment and leadership. The film celebrates women's strength, leadership, and resilience. Tanishka and her fellow warriors challenge stereotype about femininity and demonstrate that bravery and tactical brilliance are not gender specified. Their leadership inspired not only within their community but also serve as a broader symbol of women's capacity to lead and defend resistance against colonial conflict. The woman king widely depicted the brutal realities of colonized exploration, violence, cultural suppression, and showcase the fierce resistance of the dehumaning kingdom and its women's warrior. It underscored the importance of sovereign pride and fighting against oppressions, encouraging real historical struggle for independence, traditional versus progress. The narrative explores the tension between respecting cultural traditions and adapting to individual change. Characters grapple with maintaining their identity while confronting external threat and internal reforms. These themes resonate in Ramprabri discussed about cultural preservations and evolutions, sacrifice, humanity, and moral complexity. The film doesn't shy away from depreciating the human cost of warfare, the loss of loved ones, moral dilemmas, and personal sacrifice. It portrays warriors as complex individuals motivated by love, duty, and hope. Challenge simplistic notions of heroism, cultural pride, and identity. The film emphasizing the importance of cultural heritage, showcasing traditional music, dance, rituals, and attires, and advocates pride in Africa and challenge stereotypes that marginalize African civilization, historical context, and creative Celebrities feel inspiring by real historical figures and events. The Woman King takes creative liberties to enhance storytelling. The actuals agonize warriors were indeed a formidable force known for their bravery, but many details in the films are dramatized or fictionalized for cinematic impact. The film aimed to educate and inspiring, raising awareness about Africa's rich history, even if some specified characters and events are fictional. The film portal spark important conversations about the representations of African history in cinema and the importance of diverse narration and the roles of women in shaping story, action sequence and visual effect. The film's action scans are highlights showcasing innovation, choreographed and recycled combat. The use of practical effect combined with CGI create released an impressive battle emphasizing the physicality and technical unity of the warriors. The sound design intensify each class, making combat feel immediate and impactful. The visual effects are used judiciously to enhance the storytelling without overwhelming the authenticity of the period setting. Audience and critical receptions. The Woman King has received acclaim for critics and education alike, praised for its performance, direction, cultural significance, and visual spectacles. Ola Davis' portrayal has been rated as career-defining, and the film has been celebrated as a groundbreaking portrayal of African history and women's improvement. Some criticism thought that the film essentially employs familiar tropes or simplifies complex historical realities, but these reservations are often overshadowed by its overall emotional and cultural resonance. The film has also resonated globally, inspiring discussions about representation, historical and gender roles in cinema, broader cultural and social impact. The Woman King is more than just a film, it's a cultural statement. It challenges Hollywood's tendency to overlook stories centered on African civilizations and women's for advocating for more diverse and authentic storytelling. It celebrates African heritage, promotes gender equality, and the importance of women leadership in all spheres of life find a reflection and enduring significance. In conclusion, The Woman King is a monumental achievement that combines thrilling actions, emotional depth, and cultural significance. It redefines what historical film can be, centering women's warrior and African history, breaking stereotype and inspiring audience through its message of resilience and improvement. It stands as a statement of the power of storytelling to educate, inspiring, and bring about social change. The film invites viewers to reflect on the importance of honoring history, celebrating diversity, and recognizes the strength of women who lives shaped its history from the shadow. Recommendation and closing thought. The film is must watch for anyone interested in history, actions, women improvement, or African culture. It is a cinematic celebration of resilience, leadership, and a cultural period that will resonate long after the credit roll. For seeking inspiration, adventure, and a deeper understanding of American heritage, The Woman's King is an essential viewing experience in an epic that elevates voices that have often been silenced and reminds us all the enduring power of courage and community. The Woman King, an epic, exhaustive, and profound deep dive introduction, a historical and cultural milestone to in cinema. The Woman King is not merely film; is a monument, cultural event that redefines the landscape of Hollywood cinema by bringing to the front a powerful, inspiring story rooted in African history and centered on women's leadership or resilience, directed by Gina Prince by the filmmakers, celebrated for her ability to craft emotional, resonant, and social meaningful story. This film's mark a significantly step forward to diversifying it within the mainstream moving industry. The film is inspiring by the real life evolved allied female warriors of the film Kingdom of Dunes of vast tactical brilliance and unpredictable speed have alongside long been a subject for factions of ambitions, yet their story have rarely been told on the big screens until now. The Woman King is more than an action-packed historical drama. Admired, their story have rarely been told on the big screen until now. The Woman King is more than an action-packed historical drama. It is a celebration on African cultural heritage, a testament to women's improvement, and an exploration of themes like resistance, identity, sacrifice, and leadership. It released has sparked visual conversations about representations, history, and the importance of telling diverse story and have sticklers have been recognized of ignorance in Western's media, in-depth plot and structure analysis. The narrative of the woman's king is intricately woven with multiple layers, personal, political, cultural, and historical. It centers on Naniska, a formidable general and leader of the Agoge warriors and navies, a very young pursuit whose journey led to many women fighting for agency, respect, and their future. The core storytelling, Naniska leadership and legacy. Naniska embodies strength, wisdom, and deep sense of duty. Her characters are exploration themes of human loss, resilience, and hope. She is hunted by her past loss, particularly, and the birth of her daughter, and her story is one of healing, mentorship, and unwavering commitment to her people's new rebellions and growth. Is spiritual rebellions in women whose dreams of begging and engaging warriors despite social restriction and her community disapproval. Her journey from an outsider to a respect warrior underscore themes of defense, resilience, and self-discovery, external threats, and political intrigue. The kingdom faced threat from European colonies, primarily Portuguese, who has sought to exploit it, dehumanize, dishonest, and enforce colonial dehumanize internally, pollution revision, and traditionally technical threats and the stability of dehumany, creating a tense backdrop for the characters' personal struggle, cultural and moral dilemmas. The narrative's exploration complex moral questions about profit, colonize, and traditional characters grapples with violence as a tool for survival and question the morality of their action in the face of external access and internal affairs narrative structure. The film unfolds through combinations of intense battle sequence, character-driven dialogues, and cultural visual. It balances moment of high adrenaline with the poignant scenes of reflection, bonding, and cultural pride. The storytelling employs chronologically approach then intertwined with flashback and symbolic emergency, enhancing the viewer's understanding of characters' historical and motivations, performance, and characters' depth. Viola Davis Nanishka Davis delivers a career-defining performance. Her portrayals of Nanishka execute authority, compassion, and vulnerability. She embodies the character archetype of a warrior who has endured trauma and loss but channels that pains into leadership and hope. Her monologues about duty, legacy, and sacrifice are powerful, resonating deeply with audience. Thus, Mayview as Mayviews. Levy's revelations are fiery spiritual resilience and emotional depth make her one of the film's standout characters. She captured the sense of youthful rebellion intertwined with profound Maturity portrayal are characters evolutions with authenticity. Lashana is Amenja, the portrayal of Amenja bringing wisdom, warmth, and strength to the narrative. She is maternal figures and fairies, warriors embodying the nurturing and formidable spirit of the egoist supporting cast. Assemble cast include talented actors portraying warriors, elders, and villagers, each contributing layers of cultural resonance and authenticity. Their interactions build a compelling sense of community and shared purpose, direction, and cinematic excellence. Kina Princess by Food Visions. Her direction elevated the film beyond its typical historical epics, emphasizing emotional authenticity and cultural accuracy. She skillfully balanced large-scale action with intimate characters' movement, ensuring that each sequence adds depth to the story. Fighting choreography, the combined sequences are meticulous, stage blending traditional African martial arts with contemporary cinematic technique. The cinematography embodies emphasizing agility, technical intelligence, and raw physicality, making battlefields visceral and authentic. Cinematographer Polly Morgan's visuals are breathtaking, capturing lush landscape, vibrant costume, and intricate set designs. The use of nature, lighting, and rarely tools embrace viewers in the period and setting, creating a widely and impressive experience. Music and sound design. The soundtrack combines traditional African music, drums, synths, and melodies with modern cinematic scoring, highlighting emotional resonance. The sound design enhances the beauty of combat and the cultural use of rituals and ceremonies. Costume and production design, authentic costume, revelry, and weaponry reflect the period, accurately emphasizing costume and production design, authentic costume, revelry, and weaponry reflect the period, accurately emphasizing cultural identity and social heritage. Productions design reclines the historical setting with meticulous details from palace of village of battlefield themes and symbols explore women's power and leadership. The film celebrated women's strength not only as warriors but as leaders, bravery and symbol of resilience. Nendiska and her sister challenge gender stereotype, illustrating that leadership and bravery are universal qualities resilient and colonial defeats. It widely described as brutal resilience of colonized exploration, violence, and cultural suppression, and unwavering resistance of the demonic people. The warrior are portrayed as defenders of their sovereign, fighting not just with weapons but with their cultural pride, cultural heritage, and identity. The film emphasizing the importance of cultural traditions, ritual and heritage as source of strength. It showcases dance, ceremonies, and attire that reflect authenticity African custom, fostering a sense of pride and community, moral ambiguity, and humanity in war. The narrative doesn't shy away from depicting the moral complexity of warfare, killing revenge, and survival. Character grapples with their action, communication, editing depth, and realism of to their heroism, legacy, and transition. The film underscored the importance of passing down cultural value, leadership skill, and stories from generations to generation, ensuring that sacrifice of warriors are honored and rememberable. Historical context and creative well inspiring by real historical figures and events. The Woman King employs creative liberty to craft a compelling narrative. The actual Agolais warriors exist and were known for their material purpose, but skeleton characters and events are influenced for storytelling purpose. The films aim to induce and inspiring viewers about African history, emphasizing themes of resistance, independence, and women's leaders. It acknowledges the gaps in the historical recorded and use storytelling to fill those gaps with empowering narratives. Action sequence and visual effect mystery. The film's action sequences are among its highlighting showcasing innovative choreography and visual comment. Sequences are designed to emphasize the warrior's agility, tactical skills, and bravery. The use of practical effects combined with CGI enhance creates resilience and impressive battles that shows and the heroism of face. The sound designs amplify each class, making the audience feel the impact of every strike, arrow, and explosions. Physical effects serve to enhance realism film without over, overshadowing the authenticity of the period. Critical reception and cultural impact. Critical acclaim. The film has been lauded for Viola Davis' powerhouse performance, King of Prince by the Woods' visionary directions, and its cultural significance. Critics have praised it as a visual addition to the canon of historical speaks, nothing its emotional depth and social relevance. Audience reception. The audience response has been overwhelming positive, with many viewers expressing pride and inspiring. The film has sparked conversations about African history, gender equality, and expectation in cinema. Cultural impact. The Woman's King has become a cultural phenomenon, promoting discussions about the importance of diverse storytelling, the presentations of African civilizations, and the need to recognize the contribution of women warrior thought out history, broader social and political significance. The film's themes resonate beyond entertainment, surviving as a catalyst for social change. It challenged storytelling about Africa and women forms cultural pride and includes advocate for gender equalities and recognitions of narratives. It also highlights the importance of historical education, inspiring viewers to learn more about Africa history and the curious women who shaped it. Final reflection and enduring legacy. The Woman King is cinematic to divorce a film that combines action, rating, action, profound storytelling, cultural celebration, and social community, and refines that historical epics can be by entertain women warriors and African history breaking stereotype and inspiring audience worldwide. Its legacy lies not only in its artistic achievement but also in its role as cultural beacon, illuminating story of resistance. Resilience and leadership that have long been marginalized. Recommendations and closing remark. The film is essential viewing for anyone interested on historical cultural humanism, improvement or cinematic excellence. It is a story that will inspiring, educate, and entertain, leaving a lasting impressions on all who was the woman's king is a testament power of storytelling to transform perception, celebrate diversity and honor. Immediately reflect us who fought freedom. The Woman King 2022, an epic in-depth exhaustive masterpiece introduction and historical and cultural breakdown in cinema. Woman King is a groundbreaking cinematic achievement that not only entertains but also educates, inspiring, and challenges perspectives about African history, movement, leadership, and cultural resilience created by Gina Bedford, renowned for her ability to craft emotionally compelling and social consequences. Film this move mark a significant milestone as one of the first major Hollywood production to enter center on the powerful and often overlooked history of the Azores, the all-female military regiment of the Kingdom of Dehumanity located in what is now been the film emergency as a critical moment in cinema history, a time when television narratives are demanding space in mainstream India, media, and story of normalization community are begins told with renewed authenticity and respect. It relevant African history celebrate women's warriors and underscore themes of resistance, identity, and sovereignty. The woman's king is not merely a historical drama, it is a cultural declaration that honors the strength, resilience, and leadership of America coming and civilizations assertion their rightful place in the global history narration. Historical background and origins. The film is inspired by the real life egoist warriors who serve as an elite fight force in the kingdom of Dihomini from the 17th to the 19th century. These women were renowned for their martial prowess, disciplines, and unwavering loyalty to their kingdom. Historical, they were feared by enemy and respect within their social and protect and Air Force of Royal Authority. However, the specifies of many individual stories and the full extent of their history have been forced for obscured by colonial language, often dismayed or Mormonization. African civilizations recent these and oral stories have begun to shed light on their significance, and the film aims to bring this visual history to a broader audience, filling gaps with a compelling fictionalized narrative grounded in historical truth. The film also touches upon the broader context of the transition, slave trade, European colonization, and internal political struggle, providing a now exploring of the complexity faced by hegemony and its peoples during its numerical period. The synopsis, a multi-layered storytelling approach. The story interestingly views personal journey, political intrigue, cultural traditions, and larger geopolitical conflict. It is a tapestry of moments that highlighting individuals' heroism and collective resilience center. Director Nansa Volva Davis, veteran general, mentor, and leader of the egoist, hunted by personal loss yet driven by a deep sense of duty. Her characters embody strength, wisdom, and emotional depth, illustrating the prudent and sacrifice of leadership. Navy so Mbedu, a spirited rebellious young woman who dream of becoming an aegis. Despite social restrictions, her journey reflects themes of defense, self-discovery, and improvement. Thuso, the ruler of the Humanius Trivia, to modernize his kingdom and resistant colonial encroachment while grappling with political rivalries and internal reforms. Manja, a fair, warriors, and trusted confidant of Nonishka, embodying maternal strength and technical brilliance. Plot highlighting the formation of the Agoja, the The film opens with the portrayals of the face training rituals and camaraderie among the women warriors, highlighting their cultural significance and the social rules they challenge external threats. European colonial power was primarily the Portuguese threatened the kingdom's sovereign eagers to exploit its resources and enslave its people. The film depicts these interactions with struggles intensity, emphasizing the brutality of colonization and the resistance mounted by the dehumanized warriors' internal power struggles, while political and traditional systems creates internal conflict, facing characters to navigating loyalty, morality, and survival. Nevi's personal journey, her relentless spirit and desire to prove herself lead her thought trial that lead test her loyalty, morality, and sense of purpose. Climactic battles. The film is fiction action sequence are choreographed with precision, blending traditional African martial art with modern cinematic techniques. The sequence serve as both visual spectacle and character-defining moment. Visualization and legacy. The story culminates in the fates battle that determines the future of the humanity, emphasizing themes of sacrifice, legacy, and hope. Performance, power, nuance, and authenticity. Volva device and Anushka device performance is a tour de force, commanding presence, emotion, depth, and nuance. Delivering relevant the film see portrays Anushka as a leader hardened by loss, yet uniting in her resolving, embodying both mental warmth and warrior fierceness. This Mbedu and Navy Mobius portal captured the fire spirit of a young woman fighting against social contrasted her evolution from naive rebels to seasoned warriors is demonstrated with authenticity and emotional resonance. Visualized as a manja, suffering gravitas and maternal strength contrasting the characters who balance wisdom, technical skills, and composition supporting cast. The assembled cast provides a tapestry of characters, fellow warriors, elder, and villagers, each contributing authenticity and depth. Their interactions portray a vibrant, resilient society, direction, and visual craftsmanship. Gina pensive by thought visions. Her directions is masterful, blending large scales actions with the intimate moment of vulnerability, she emphasizing cultural, authentic, emotional connection and visual storytelling. Fight choreography. The combat scans are meticulous, staged, combining traditional African martial arts with cinematic theater, emphasizing agility, tacticals, ingenuity, and raw emotional cinematography. Polymorgan visual stunning lush landscape detailed costume, dynamic camera work, creating an impressive experience that transport viewers to 19th century West America music and sound. The sound combines traditional African drums, sets and melodies with cinematic scoring, heightening emotional impact and cultural Listening, consume and production design authentic details, consume and set designs reflect historical accuracy and cultural identity, emphasizing beauty, craftsmanship, and social hierarchy themes and symbolism. Deep dive into meaning, women's improvement, and leadership. The film relevance women as warriors, leaders, as cultural icons, challenging stereotypes and advocating for gender equality, resistance to colonization, depicting the brutal reality of European colonization and highlighting the resistance by the Diomini warrior, emphasizing sovereignty and cultural pride, cultural heritage and identity, celebrate traditional dance, rituals, attire, and oral histories, emphasizing the importance of cultural preservations and amid external threats, moral complexity of war, explore the moral ambiguity of violence, revenge, and survival, portraying warrior as complex individual motivated by love, duty, and morality. Legacy and transmissions highlighting the importance of passing down cultural value, stories, and leadership to future generations to preserve identity and prize historical accuracy and creative liberties. Well grounded in historical fact, the film employs creative liberties to craft compelling narratives, specifies characters and events are fictional but inspired by true stories. The film aims to honor and spirit of the exercise cultural significance even if some details are dramatized for cinematic impact. It also addresses themes of colonization and resistance, providing a nuanced view of history that balances realism with storytelling needs, action sequence and visual effect, choreography and combat sequence, emphasizing agility, tactical combat and traditional martial art, creating a fanciful, memorable battle, visual effects, use of CGI, enhance large-scale battle without sacrifice. Visual effects are used judiciously to heighten drama and authenticity. Sound design intense and impressive, making you set feel every clash and explosions critical and audience receptions, critical acclaim praised for Volva Divine powerhouse performance in a praise by the world visionary direction and the film's cultural significance. It has been hailed as a landmark in African and women's centered cinema. Audience response responding positively, inspiring pride and sparking conversation about African history and women's leadership, cultural impact. The film has become a catalyst for discussions on representation, history, and social justice, emphasizing that story from Africa and about women's warrior deserve a central place in cinematic history, broader social and political significance, representation and diversity. The film challenged Hollywood historical narrow portrayal of struggle advocating for more diverse, authentic history, cultural pride, climating Africans' heritage, traditional and achievement, portraying a sense of pride among African community and global audience education value curious learning about African civilization, resistance movement, and the role of women in the history. So I tell you, written this specialist in mental and emotional disturbance, psychiatrist. Okay, speak in very low and speak in very low to whisper. Mm, something that is a hidden mystery. Somebody somebody that for tell the tell for the coming of something. Hair binger. Soldiers on big guns mounted on something. Wheels artillery. Okay, so deep that the bottom cannot be reached. Un, unfam, unfathomable. Mm, a small shop that sell fashionable clothes, cosmetic, and boutique. Shamelessly looks impudent. Serious crime like murder, arrests, felony, felony. Okay, idea returns. Okay, guys. Final reflection and lasting legacy. The Woman King stand as a testament to the power of storytelling to educate, inspiring, and transform perception. It redefines the scopes of historical epics, bringing marginalization voice to the forefront and celebrating resilience, legacy, and cultural identity. Its legacy endures as a cinematic and cultural milestones, navigating viewers to reflection on history, gender, and the importance of diverse narrations in shaping our understanding of the world. Conclusion: you must watch. This film is not just entertainment, it is an empowering, clothing rich, and visually stunning masterpiece that challenges my stereotype, celebrations, strength, and honor history. It is a must watch for anyone interested in a history, cultural movement. Was right of expectations filmmaking. The Woman's King is a call of recognition and celebrate the resilience of women's warriors and the vibrant civilization they defended. The Woman King 2022, an epic, exhaustive, and profound cinematic masterpiece, introduction, a landmark in cultural and cinematic history. The Woman King is groundbreaking cinematic masterpieces that transcend traditional filmmaking boundaries, serving as both a riveting action epic and visual cultural development directions by Gina Prince Bedford, filmmaker celebrated for her ability to craft emotionally resonant, socially conclusion and visual stunning film series. Movie marks a historic moment by spotlighting the extraordinary history of the Agoji. Their leadership was military recognized of the Kingdom of Diumini in West Africa. This film is more than just a story, is a cultural declaration that defines African history, celebrates women's leadership, and underscores themes of resilience and sovereignty. Its release in a glorious call for greater experimentation, diversity, and acknowledgement of African civilization and their contributions to world history. The Woman King emerged in 18 important crusade in global cinema where stories from marginalized communities are finally given the prominence they deserve, challenging stereotypes and reverting that have long been dominated by Western perspectives, historical context, or origins and significance. The films draw inspirations from the real life Abolize warriors, also known as the Yemeni Amazons, who serve as elite fighting force in the kingdom of Dihumani from the 17th to the 19th century. These must be renowned for their martial prowess, discipline, and unwavering loyalty. They played a vital role in defending their kingdom from external threats and maintaining internal stability. Historical and the Agogi were feared by enemy and respected within their social defining gender stereotype. Within their formidable combat skill and leadership, their story, however, where other organisms are distorted in colonial narratives which either ignore or verify their existence. True legacy emphasizing their importance in African history and resistant colonial result, and the Women's King aims to bring this powerful history to life for a global audience, filling in gaps with the dramatized but respectful fictionalization grounded in authentic cultural and historical elements. The film also explored the broader scope political landscape of during the 19th century, including the transatlantic slave trade, ex-European colonials, internal political rivalry, and struggle for some right and cultural survivals. Deep dive plot analysis layer of narrative and thematic complexity. The narrative structure of the One King is a race toss type on the eighth rational story, political meditations, cultural ritual, and mystical conflict. It balances visual action with heartfelt characters development, creating a layered historical experience. Main character and their archetype Nanishka forward image was censored general and mentor Nanishka building resilience, leadership and wisdom hunted by personal loss, particularly in depth of her total she channels her pain into faith's commitment to her people and her role as a protector of the kingdom and its traditions. That's made you a very rebellious young woman with the faith, spiritual and desire to follow their own path, her journey from outsider to reward warrior exemplifies themes of self-empowerment, defense of social constraint and personal depth. Growth. King Gojo Chomboiga, the ruler caught between traditional technicals and reform-minded adverse. He strived to modernize and resisted colonize encroachment while navigating internal power struggles. Amenja Lhasa Lancha, Fitness warrior, trusted, confident to Nanishkavu, embodying Matapi's strength, technical brilliance, and unwavering loyalty. Thematic highlighting and plot point, thematic training and ritual of the Ajogis. The film widely depicted the Ryukyu training rituals and contemporaries that fold these humans into a formidable fighting force. Cultural ceremonies, dance, and traditional are woven into the narrative, emphasizing their cultural significance and provide by the uphold external trade and colonial encroachment. European powers, primarily the Portuguese, are depicted as ruthless exploiters to enslave and dominate their interactions with humanity reveals social innovations, violence, and cultural clashes, illustrating the destructive impact of colonization, internal political dynamics, while political and fictional rivalries threaten the stability of humanity. Tractor grapples with loyalty, morality, and the need to balance traditions with reform, rebellions, and personal growth. A fire nature and a desire to prove herself her growth brings her test her loyalty, morality, and sense of self. For characters are reflect themes of resilience and self-identity. Climate patterns and action sequence, visual stunning and geographic with as both adrenaline pumping spectacles and characters defining moment. Visualizing legacy, the climax underscore themes of sacrifice, leadership, and hope for the future of the humanity, emphasizing the importance of cultural legacy and resilience, characters, performance, provenance, and cultural authenticity. Worldwide Divines, Nanishka device delivers commanding Lena's performance, portrayal of Nanishka embodies strength, vulnerability, and mental tenderness. Her monologues about lost duty and legacy resonate deeply, elevating the film's emotional score. This may be used as Navy, views bring raw energy and authenticity, capturing Navy's rebellion spirit, vulnerability, and eventually mystery. Her performance is a testament to her range and depth as actress. Silence as the Menjal and embodies wisdom, technical powers that mental strength, portraying a character who balance fears, combat skills with gentle mentorship, supporting cast the Assemble cast including skills actors for testing warrior elders. The villager is adding layers of cultural richness and authenticity. Their interactions foster a vibrant sense of community and shared purpose. The action cinematography and artistry visions when appraised by through directions or visions emphasizing emotional authenticity, cultural accuracy, and cinematic grandeur, she expertly balanced large-scale action with intimate characters, moment ensuring African martial art with modern cinematic dynamics sequence arrangeable dynamics, emotional side, emphasizing agility, intelligence, and raw physicality, cinematographer. Colin Morgan's visuals are breathtaking, capturing lush landscape, intricate resume, and vibrant set designs. The use of natural lighting and earthly tones impress viewers in the presets and setting, creating an authentic and immersive experience. Music, sound design, and scores. Costume and production. Static costume reveals jewelry and weaponry reflect a historical pride, emphasizing cultural identity and social heritage, and design present a grandeur of dehumanized place and villages with meticulous details, theme, symbol, and cultural significance, women's power and leadership. The film relevant women and empowerment, resistance, and anti. Thank you, guys.